Well, hello, here I am with a new podcast for you, and I'm in a different location. This, as anyone who's been following me for a while on this channel will know, that this is actually my studio, but it's currently my middle son's room. So I only have the little bit of space behind me, a little bit shelving, and the rest of the room is Jamie's. So I'm in here today, they're at work, and I'm just using this space. Puppy is sleeping. I will pop him on for the end. So if you've been enjoying the little bits, in fact, last 2 episodes I think I had him the whole way through. But this time he's just a little bit more lively, and I am just going to bring him on, and I will, at the end when he's awake, I will do a little bit of a chat with him, and you'll get to see him, and I'll do a puppy update. So those of you who are dog lovers, hang on for that. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Marta. I'm a crochet designer living on the east coast of Scotland, and today is a miserable day. It is raining. It's not too heavy, it's not windy, it's just raining. I was out in it this morning, had my big golf umbrella, had Lachlan in my little doggy pouch. He is getting so big for that. Doggy update at the end, I'll tell you more about him in a minute. I was going to launch into loads of puppy stuff, but let's keep the start crochet and knitting. Today I have 3 WIPs for you. The first of which is the cardigan I'm knitting, and I said I was hoping to get through the sleeves pretty quickly, and here is sleeve 1. It's not finished, but I've run out, I haven't run out, I have finished the skein of yarn I was on, so I need to wind up the skein and get some more yarn on that. And I also promised that I would go back and start the knitted sock, the second sock of the pair that I'm on, which I did. So we're taking a short break from this and I'm back working on the sock. So I love this cuff, can you see? It's just a couple of rounds of purls and knits and then some increases, and then it is just increasing with a front and back loop increase. There, you can see it down there. That is kind of the seam, if you like. It's not really a seam, it's knitted in the round, but you know what I mean. That's the increase side there. So this is coming along nicely. Loving the texture. Can you see how woolly and sheepy it is? It smells awesome. So a big shout out to my friend Pauline, who spotted this yarn in the charity shop and sent me a message and said, get yourself along there, there's some lovely yarn in. And right enough, I think the light today is showing up the colour really nicely. This is exactly what it's like. So this is the sleeve. I can't remember if I'd finished the body. I do remember in the last podcast I kept showing you the purl side, and I'm sorry about that. I didn't notice until I was editing the video and I went, whoopsie. Oh well, too late now. I'm still showing you the purl side, but it's more tangled than I thought. The puppy did manage to grab this and run around my room with it, so that's why it got tangled. Here we are. Isn't that fab? I am really, really happy with that. So this goes down either side of the opening at the front. There's going to be a rib, same width as this. So that will be, stitches will be picked up and there'll be rib coming down both those edges. Button band, I suppose. Oh, that'd be a good thumbnail. Smile. Right, so yeah, I'm up to the armpits and I've started sleeve 1. I've also started sleeve 2 because if I show you the pattern, it's actually a 3/4 length sleeve on the cardigan. Here I want a full length sleeve, so I had to do a little bit of maths, work out, because it starts at the cuff and works up. It would have been very easy if it had been a top down. I would just have knitted and knitted until I got the length I wanted. So I had to do a little bit of maths and work out exactly how many stitches to start with, so that when I got to, about this point, that it was the same number as you would cast on if you were doing it from the pattern. And I think I've worked it out. I think we're good. I have been, as I've been going along, I've been trying this against the what's it called? Name's gone out of my head. The lilac jumper I wear with the loops going up it. Oh, I don't know why. I can't think of the name. Well, I do know why. I'm still a bit sleep deprived. You know the one. I've been trying it against that one that I have been wearing a lot, and just sort of placing this on top and seeing if it's roughly the same size, and so far we're good. Because my gauge wasn't quite right, so just to make sure that I'm on track and I'm not knitting loads, and because I'm a slow knitter, I don't want to be wasting my time and it's wrong. Same with this. Once I got it set out and I could see the sort of the circumference it was going to be, adding in, well, allowing for the extra bit, I checked that against the jumper too, and that's going to be fine. Gosh, what is the name of that jumper? In Murit, issue 5, it's got the loops going through it. I know the pattern's by Smitha Krista, and Smitha Krista, and it'll come to me and I will stick it up on the screen. So that is my knitting. So very happy with this project. As I say, I want a little bit of a break, put it down for a little bit, because the socks I'll show you in a minute are on a deadline, so I need to get them done. My mum gifted me these, in a very timely fashion, these stitch holders thingies. I think I've thrown the box down. They're Pony. That's the brand they are. Yeah, it doesn't even say it on it, but they are Pony ones, so they're not as fancy as my cute little llamas from Isle Stitch, but they do the job. Haven't got one on here, but still, having 5 out of the 6 protected is good, because I think the puppy really likes, I mean, it does smell good. Puppy is clearly drawn to the smell of that wool. So, yes. So I didn't tell you that the pattern is the Mary Rebecca cardigan. I got it on Ravelry, and it's a pattern by Ellen Mason Designs. Here's the picture on the front here. I think all the pictures in this printed out pattern are just on a mannequin like that, but on Ravelry itself there were some on a model, so you can see what it looks like. It's lovely. I like this bit around the back here. Here's the cuff. Mine looks just the same. Yay! Happy! So that was a paid for pattern, and I got it on Ravelry, and I just found it via search. It's not one that was recommended to me or anything. I was just after something simpler than that actually, but it ended up challenging myself, going for it, and that's what I come up with. Speaking of which, challenging yourself is the kind of a bit of the theme for my email that I'm sending out to my list tomorrow morning. Today is Thursday the 15th, it's the day after Valentine's Day, Thursday 15th of February. Tomorrow, probably actually after this has gone up, I'm busy advertising my mailing list. After this has gone up, probably, tomorrow's email is all about kind of challenging yourself, taking your crochet to the next level, but it will be going out as a blog post, so I will try my best to pop my blog post link in the description as well. Hopefully all the links, everything I'm talking about should all be down in the description. Just have a wee look, and if there's anything you fancy, just give that a click. Don't think there are any affiliate links today, and if I have missed anything out, please let me know. I should also say I'm drinking tea, which my friend Moira, I've got an M for Marta or M for Moira. My friend Moira gave me this tea. It is Carmian, which is a South African tea company. I've just googled them because Moira has a friend in South Africa who was over in Scotland visiting and gifted Moira some of this tea, and Moira knew that I would like it too. So Moira, if you're watching, thank you. Here I am trying it. It is a rooibos tea, but it's a green rooibos, which I've never tried before, with rose petals in, so it's a Turkish delight flavour. So I don't know if any of you have come across this tea. Here is the... Is that in focus? Maybe just. Carmian, something like that. So let's have a sip. Yes, I like it. Yeah, that's very nice. And being rooibos, it will be caffeine free. I'd actually put off drinking it because I was just given the one single tea bag in a wee placky bag with this label, and I wasn't sure if it was a black tea, so I'd be putting off drinking because I kept discovering it later in the day and thinking, I don't know if it's a black tea, and I'm quite sensitive to caffeine, so I didn't want to be drinking black tea later in the day. And I finally noticed that it had this little tag on, so I googled it and discovered more about what's in it. So Thank you very much, Moira. I know you watch my podcast, so Moira is a great crocheter as well, one of the people who inspired me, encouraged me right back at the start of my journey, and so yeah, thank you for everything, Moira. And onto my Battenberg blanket. Here, I love showing this one off. I just love this. It's still nowhere near finished, but it is about 2/3 of the way done. And do you know what? I've left in the other room, and I'd have to go past the sleeping puppy to get it. I have left the squares that I've recently been working on. So I'll show you the whole blanket, and I'll pop a picture that I took just yesterday up there of the squares that I've been doing. You can see that Lachlan is photobombing it. He was straight in there and managed to haul out a granny square before I could say, whoa! So I've just been working on squares. I haven't done much joining, so I just wanted to give it some context for anyone who is new following me today. Hello! This is the Battenberg blanket. It is a free pattern by Sandra Paul. I got it on Ravelry, I believe, and there are lovely video tutorials as well on how to do the square, and more importantly, how to do the join. Here's the back, and they're joined as you finish each of your main colour ones. You join them and start joining it in, so it's not one of these ones at the end you are joining in loads of squares. I love that about it. And there is also a make along hosted by Die Boerfrau and Independence_Yarns_Craft here on YouTube. They are hosting it over on Instagram, and the hashtag is BattenbergMal23_24, I think. I'll stick it up. Hopefully I've got that right. I'll check. And there's a lovely group where there are, I'm not sure how many, there's quite a lot of us making this over a 2-year, maybe 2-year plus period, and we just share progress. You know, if we've suddenly had a jump and we've done some, then we'll pop our pictures up in the chat group there. And there's questions as well, because I think some people are nearing the end and beginning to think about what border they'll do. There is a border that comes with the pattern, but of course you don't have to follow that, of course not. I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I am not at that stage yet. I'm likely to just go ahead and use the one that's there though, I think. Unless in the group I might see something that I like and I might change my mind. So these yellow ones are paint box yarn. It's their sock yarn, their sock solids, and it is 75% wool, and I think it's superwash, and 25% nylon. Most of the rest of them are 75%, 25%. There are some that are 80-20. There are some that are 100% wool. There are some that have a little bit of silk in them, or alpaca, or merino. There are a few different compositions. I think there's even a couple with yak. Is it this one? Could be, I'm not sure. Yeah, I think this one has yak in it. Could be wrong. It feels very different. I think it is. That was lovely. They were socks that I made. So I'm just going to treat the whole thing, when I wash it, I'm just going to treat the whole thing as if it's 100% wool, and it'll be fine. Absolutely fine. So this is my Battenberg blanket. Like I say, I've been doing quite a lot of squares, mostly using the little odds from my Hobbit Advent calendar. I finished that shawl, showed it in the last podcast if you want to check that one out. And I still not sewn in those ends or blocked it yet. Puppy! So I will get back to it. But those are the ones mostly which I am crocheting up, as well as some of the yarns which Claire gave me as a lovely little surprise. She donated me some skeins of yarn, little 20 gram minis, and they've been working up really lovely too. So they are all in my box, and they're quite good to work on just now with the puppy around. I can quickly get something done and it feels like I've done something. And I mean, if he does run away with a square, it's not the end of the world. It's only a small thing, and it's not really going to unravel once I've finished it as well. So yay, I did catch him munching on one. He is just full of mischief at the minute. Full of mischief. Hang on for the end, like I say, and I shall show you him at the end. So I think that's all I've got to say on my Battenberg. I'm still working away on it. I think I like the fact that you can just plod away on a long-term project like this. It suits me, it suits my way of working. If you accept from the beginning that it's not going to be finished tomorrow, you'll be fine. And just dip in and out of it, adding squares as you go. It's just so much fun. It's just so much colour, so many memories in it. I just really, really like this one. I really like it. Can't wait to finish it. But like I just said, I'm not really in a massive rush. I'd like to finish it this year. My goal before I got the puppy was to have it finished around end of April, when I could still maybe get it on my bed at night. But I don't think that's going to happen. Not a chance. Right, I have one final knitting project, and I'll show you that in a moment. As I turned to pick up my next project, I discovered that I do actually have some granny squares. I keep them in this cute little granny love bag, and these are all Hobbity ones actually. I've done recently. They just need to have their end sewn in. Yeah, these are going to add a lot of interest because there'll only be one, some cases two, of each colour, which will really spread out my colours for the remaining piece of the blanket. Have I got any more? Well, here's one of the ones from Claire. I've got one in here. I really like that one. It makes me think of some sort of sweet delicacy with chocolate and raspberry. Yum yum. I think I've got two of the skeins. Yeah, they must have been from the same dyer. Really like how these have worked out. There we go. So hopefully that gives you some idea of what the squares are like before they get added in. And my final project is from my Sock Knitting Bible by Lynn Rowe, and it's the Autumn Berries sock. Oh, flip to the page nicely. Autumn Berries. Here we go. Oh, that's out. Here we are. By Caitlin Barthold. Caitlin Barthold. And I have cast on the second sock. I finished the first sock, cast on the second sock. Let's show you the finished one. Here we are. I think last time I podcasted I was around here maybe. So I have done, it's a cuff down, I've done here to the toe. They're for my dad. They are a size 11 UK. So not the biggest person I have to knit or crochet socks for, but yeah, certainly big. If I stick it on my hand, you'll get more of an idea of what it's like. And you can probably see the absolute wobble I had around here somewhere. All of a sudden I had too many stitches, and then I thought I'd solved the problem, and I ended up with too few stitches. But hey, that bit'll be in a shoe, right? I don't know what was going on. Well, I do have a bit of an idea. I think the join in the needles came down here, and it was harder to see exactly what I was doing with the lacework pattern. This bit's nice. Let's focus on the positives. The sole's quite nice and even. Happy with that. I'm happy with my cuff. I can show you that better now that it's off the needles. Yeah, good job on the cuff. Pleased with them overall. It's a nice sock. It's going to fit nicely. And these are for my dad. I don't know if he, I send him the link. I don't know if he watches it or not. Surprise if you do, Dad. So I have another month to finish these, and I thought I had better cast on the second one. So I did that just this morning actually. I got the first little bit done. It's a tubular cast on, and then we're straight into 1 by 1 ribbing. Let's see, gonna focus. 1 by 1 rib. And I was waiting to say something else. I'm actually going into the back loop of the stitch, the back leg of the stitch. Back loops crochet, isn't it? So I'm going into the back leg. I think that gives me, I've just discovered over time, that gives me a tighter rib. I'm quite loose on 1 by 1 rib, and I find I don't like it very much. But if I go into that back leg, That seems to solve my problem. So that's what I'm doing. Slightly slower, that's the only thing. A little bit slower, but we'll get there. Yeah. Once I'm onto the pattern bit, it'll speed up. And then I know myself that once I'm onto the foot, obviously half your foot is just knit. So it'll really speed up. And I'll get these done. Not that I'm needing them to fly off the needles and I'm fed up of them, but time is ticking a little bit with these ones. I am a slow knitter, so I'm not the speediest, and I need to make sure that I get these finished for my dad. My dad was the first person I started to knit socks for. I started to knit him some socks. It would have been probably about 6 or 7 years ago I started to knit him socks. It was the first time I'd ever used double pointed needles. And I remember they were cuff down, and I remember starting and just being so like, what is going on with these? I started and I forgot to do rib, and I just started them straight in the round. I missed the whole rib bit altogether. I was just so busy getting my head down, my head round how to knit in the round on double pointed needles. And yeah, I did manage. I think I got sock 1 finished, and then they sat, and I think I showed my dad sock 1 for his birthday, and then they sat and they sat and they sat. And last year at some point I decided that they were never going to get finished. I didn't like them. They had no rib. I think I decided I would try and crochet a rib on. I tried. I picked up stitches and kind of tried to crochet a rib on just in front loop, back loop crochet. But no, I was never happy with them, and I thought, do you know what? I am never going to knit up sock 2. Let's just frog this yarn back, use it for something else. We've moved on. So since then, my second pair of socks, knitted ones, worked out fine, and I haven't looked back since then. It was just, if you've ever used double pointed needles, just that initial how do you even hold this? It's like you feel like you're all fingers and thumbs and you've got nothing to hold on to. And now here I am on very small double pointed needles, and they're short as well. I think these are 15 centimetres, maybe 18. I think they could just be 15 centimetres. I just ended up getting shorter and shorter and smaller needles for the same thickness of yarn and the same project. So I have become really comfortable with them. I can't imagine myself knitting on a cable needle, a circular. I would, I think I'll always stick to these. I like my double pointeds. So that is those. The yarn is from Steampunk Sheep Yarn, and the colourway is Scots Pine. If you saw my last podcast, I should actually have done an outtake thing, because I missed out this whole bit that was like, the colourway I just could not think. It's Scots Pine. I think eventually I said it was pine tree. It is Scots Pine, and it's a very lovely colourway for this time of year, and it all came in the bag from So Rare Me, which I did remember. Beautiful Christmassy bag, and I'm still using it because we're still in winter, and I'm still using the yarn from it, so that is going back in there. I don't think I showed you the little measuring tape which I keep in this one. This was a lovely little present from my brother-in-law Stuart. Hemline, I think, is the make. Yeah, you can't actually read it anywhere in there on it. It's got that H. I think that's Hemline. So it's got a zip around it, making it look pretty cool. I like it. It's funny, when he gave it to me, I thought it was like one of those little, pop-up jewellery boxes, and it maybe had like some weird old ring or something in it, which I wasn't that keen on. And then as soon as I saw what it was, I was like, woo! Expectations turned around. I was dead happy. I really like this. It's just a nice little one, and I'm trying to collect these. I think I have 3 now, and keep them in my project bags, because you're always there and you're like, oh, I don't have a ruler or a tape measure on me, and it's across the room, and I'll just eyeball it or measure it next time, and then doesn't really work out, does it? So happy with that. So those are my 3 projects. I think I'm going to stick with those. Probably try and get down towards the heel on the sock before I go back to the cardigan. I'll kind of yo-yo between them. Once I'm confident that I am going to get the sock done for my dad's birthday, I can get back to the cardigan. It would be nice to get a little bit of wear out that cardigan before the season is over. Excuse me. Before the season is over. It's much warmer today, although I'm complaining about the rain. It's actually about 9 degrees or something, so it's not as cold as it has been, and tomorrow looks like being a lovely day, so that is cool. So I shall be back in a mo with, well, it'll probably be an hour or so actually after I finish filming this. He does sleep a lot, and probably not in this room, because this is one of the rooms in the house that the puppy's not allowed in. It's my middle son's room, and there are lots of bits and bobs that Jamie does not want the puppy getting. So I can't film in here because he'll just be going, whoa, this room. So I'll do that little end bit for you for those doggy friends that I have watching. So if you're not a doggy friend, thank you for watching. Please consider subscribing. It's really helping me build my channel with your subscribes and your likes, and if you've got a comment as well. I know I have been tardy getting round to replying to comments. I shall try and do better on this lot. I do reply, and they just took me a while last time. So do leave me a comment. Let me know what you've been working on and what your future plans for your knitting and crochet are as well. I'd love to hear those, because I will soon be looking for new projects, aren't we all? So let me know what you're doing. I'd love to know. Alright, if you're not a doggy person, thank you for watching. Bye for now. So thank you, those of you who are still here now. I have my Wrigley puppy. I have a handful of salmon-based dog treats. So here he is. He really likes these ones. He is going to be 13 weeks tomorrow, and he can start going out for walks, which well, he will be excited about. I'm very excited about it. I cannot wait to start getting out and about. He is getting so heavy in the pouch. If you've been following me on Instagram, I have this, it's a brilliant invention, a little front-facing pouch for a puppy or a small dog. And he's almost 6 kilos. He's here. And it's very heavy. So, yeah. Also, from tonight, we are going to be cutting out that alarm, and I'm not going to go and get him, because last night he just looked so miffed. He was sound asleep when I went to get him, and he looked so miffed. He was just, why are we getting up and going outside in the middle of the night? And I'm sure you'll manage. I will get up early. I'll set my alarm for 6:30, so I'm at least up early in the morning. My apologies, we're now on location 3 for this video. My storage ended up full. It was filming, it was going great, and I was almost ready to finish off, and the storage was full, so I thought I'd better just do a quick little goodbye to let you know why it's cut all of a sudden. I am outside. I have a lovely hazelnut tree behind me. You can hear all the birds singing. The rain has stopped, and I thought this was easier than setting up lights or something somewhere else, because that's Lachlan back down for his sleep. I tried deleting stuff and getting him back on board, but he just got absolutely full of mischief as I was deleting, and I thought, nope, we're just going to abandon that. So thank you for being with me. I hope you've enjoyed this episode, and I will catch you all again real soon. Bye!